Okay, before we start another video, how about we watch a clip from a really well-known series in the West.
Okay, there is. Is this gonna be loud?
Find out in about 10 seconds. Stand back.
Jesus.
The clip that you watched just now is from a series called Breaking Bad. It's a pretty popular series on the West and also in here. You can watch it in a streaming platform such as, I guess, Netflix have it. Well, that's not the point of the video right now. So, in the clip itself, the protagonist use something in order to break a lock to steal a drug. Yes, that's what the clip is. So what? So that begs the questions: what is the something that the protagonist used to break a lock? After all, breaking a lock, especially that big of a lock, is not easy. So what is it? On that clip, the protagonist used a mixture of chemical named a thermite. A thermite is basically a mixture of chemical aluminum powder and also a metal oxide. In this case, they use iron oxide or basically rust. Yes, that orange things that covering your metals, something that made in metals. If you leave it long enough, yes, that's what essentially iron oxide is. So how does iron oxide produce how does thermite produce so much energy that it can even melt a lock? Literally, thermite can produce enough energy that can reach a temperature for around 2500 degrees Celsius. That is hotter than any K-pop idol that you can find, both literally and metaphorically. So how it works? Okay, first of all, look at there. This is ferrum oxide. No, can you see it right here? I guess it's inverted. This is ferrum oxide, and this is aluminum powder. When both of these react, it is an exothermic reaction, so it will release a lot of energy just to get stable, and thus produce ferrum. Just produce ferrum, ferrum metal, a liquid metal, ferrum, in this case ferrum, and also aluminum oxide. So, okay, that's how it works. So this is why we use a sparkler or barium hydroxide. Basically, barium hydroxide is contained on the sparkler itself. The thermite reaction itself is really hard to react and to lit up because it requires a lot of activation energy just to activate it. Because this is because of the of the oxide layer that is formed on the aluminum powder itself. So we really need an energy to overcome that resistance. We need an activation energy to overcome that resistance. So how do we do it? Well, you definitely can use a lighter such as, hold on, yeah, like this one. It's not gonna even lit up even if you put it like that for a while. No, it's not gonna lit up. For even if you put it in for 1 minute, it's not gonna lit up. So you need something more harder that can activate the thermite energy, the thermite reaction. So what does people use? Well, people use a chemical that is named barium hydroxide. Basically, the same thing that you get in sparklers. The barium hydroxide will react and produce a lot of energy because it is exothermic, and that energy will be used to activate the thermite reaction. So, do I have a sparkler? No. The sparkler itself is really expensive. It is around 100 ringgit, so it is a hard nope. So what do I use instead? I use something. Let's start again. Sorry again. Come on, where is it again? Oh, there you go. Okay. This is magnesium strip. Magnesium essentially has the same mechanism as barium hydroxide, although it's not really effective but it will does the work. This is magnesium. This is oxygen. When magnesium and oxygen is burned on the excess of air or of oxygen, it will produce magnesium oxide. When magnesium, the reaction, the combustion of magnesium will produce a lot of energy to activate the to activate the thermite reaction itself. Also, the burning of magnesium is produce a really brilliant light. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention that there's literally people in the YouTube that use thermite to make a cup of tea. Literally. Just look at that. Yeah, look at that. That water will be used for the making of a hot piping tea. And also, there's people on the YouTube that use a thermite to boil a hot dogs. So literally making an instant hot dog that is a single use. You can watch it like here, in here. Yeah. Yep, it's gonna work like that. It's a single instant use hot dog. You can't use it twice, unfortunately. You can see like that, and then see? Yeah, that's inside of that is a thermite, a reaction of thermite. So all these inventions on YouTube makes me really think why people don't use thermite to make a turbine car, a steam turbine car. So essentially, thermite turbine car, I can analogize it as a nuclear reactor. Nuclear reactor, inside the nuclear reactor, there's a uranium. Uranium itself is contained inside a case. Only heat travel out to the outside where water will turn to steam and then spin a turbine. Okay, and then the thermite itself is contained in one container that is separated from the inside separated from the outside. So I'm gonna analogize it as the nuclear reactors, but it's not a nuclear reactor. Essentially, nuclear and also thermite is much the same because they produce a lot of heat. That's what it is. Although the challenge is to control it. So, do I got the car? Yes, I did.